Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, guys. Today we're going to be talking about anti-natalism. Why are atheists not anti-natalists? Anti-natalism is the idea that there shouldn't be any reproduction, we shouldn't bring people into this world, procreation is evil, don't bring another being into this world, and that's the position of anti-natalists. So my question is, why are atheists not anti-natalists? Even after taking a stance against God, which means that life is meaningless and purposeless. There's no end goal. All we have in this life is suffering and possibility of dying. So why would an atheist bring a child into this world? Why would you do that? I'm not talking about abortion here, because abortion, you already did it. Why don't you always use protection and stop giving birth? All atheists should stop giving birth, because you are bringing a being into this world that you didn't ask for permission. You didn't ask that being for permission. You brought him into this world. You will have to live and have a possibility of suffering, and also a possibility of dying. The angst, the existential crisis that we already face, being alive. No one consulted us. No one asked us for permission, and we are giving birth to, and we have to suffer whatever it is life throws at us, and we have to think about dying as well. Wouldn't it be better not to exist at all? So what you're doing is this: you had the option of not existing at all and existing, and going to face the possibility of dying. Most people rather choose not existing. Why would I want to exist for that? The uncertainty and all of that. And by the way, even if you think people should exist, why would you bring a being you didn't ask for permission? Why would you do that? Notice, atheists. Atheists are not just some kind of, they're a special group of people. They're people usually against the religious people, usually against the existence of God. So they've taken a stance. They're not just some random people. They have actually taken an active stance, most of them. So I wonder why they would not be anti-natalist. And you know what? What's funny is that I wanted to title this video that this is how we can reduce the population of atheists. Because in my own opinion, the only people that should be doing this, that should not be anti-natalists, should be naive people that they don't even think about most things, and religious people that have a hope, that have a meaning, that there's more to this than just being alive, and we have to do this. Apart from them, those two are the only ones that can be spared the quote-unquote naivety. You, as an atheist, you cannot be spared it. You already know too much. You are an atheist scientist. Okay, what does science have to say? What is the scientific position? You always quote science. This is why I always wonder, what is wrong with you people? Shut up, man. What science are you talking about? Okay, science has to come and decide now. Should we be anti-natalist or not? What is the scientific position? Science has nothing, zero to say on this. What would it say? That there's a scientific evidence that people should live and die, or why you must give birth? Of course not. There's no scientific evidence. Science doesn't go to that level. This is the level of religion. This is the level of mythology. You guys are mythologists, and that's why I call you mythologists sometimes. So the point is that, see, the option is not about not existing and having a good life. No, even if you have a good life, you still have that possibility of dying. You're still going to be thinking about death. Why would you bring another being into a world that is meaningless, into a world that is purposeless, into a world that they can suffer, into a world that there are so many uncertainties that is waiting for them? They would rather not have existed. We agree, we're already here. But what about you? You had the chance to stop it. You had the chance to stop it, and you didn't. So I was talking about titling this video. I wanted to title it "How to Reduce the Population of Atheists," and I dare them to watch this and give me an argument of why we shouldn't be anti-natalist, or their position doesn't. How can they justify bringing another being into this world? Okay, that's my question for them. They cannot answer this. And if they listen to the argument, they will either accept it and be like, you know what, that's true. They shouldn't bring children into this world. So that the world will be, the only people that will be alive will be naive people and religious people. And we take it, we know, we cannot be anti-natalists because we believe in God and we believe in the hereafter. And by the way, there's another argument that they could actually make against the religious people, especially Christian and Muslim, that if you say you're bringing a child into the world that has a possibility of going to hellfire, you see, they could make that argument, but it doesn't excuse them of bringing a child into this world also. It's just as bad. It's just as bad. if you ask most people, they would rather not have existed than existing and then having to die and suffer. Why would I leave me? I was sleeping in my non-existence, and you brought me into life, and you talk about problem of evil, and you start talking about nonsense stuff. You have the chance, you can do it. Why don't you stop? Why don't you not procreate? Why do you procreate and reproduce and bring more children into the world? Why do you do that? There's no explanation. We can say that we are believers. We are believers, and we have taken a stance that there's meaning to life, and we have chosen the right path, and we'll go to Jannah and there's hereafter. And that's why we can justifiably bring a child into this world, because we believe we are putting them on the right track to go to paradise. And if our belief is true, because some people, they are religious, for instance, they can be theists, that they have doubts, or agnostics. Those people might not be able to justify this because they are agnostics. Agnostics cannot justify bringing a child into the world, because now the child could go to hell, and your position that you are bringing him into you are not even sure of that position, and you want to bring a child into that. So in a way, it's most people, religious people, that should be giving birth. And by this method, what's going to happen over time? Those atheists, even though they already do it to themselves anyway, they don't give birth as much, and they do abortion and stuff. But over time, the people that will populate the world will be mostly religious people and naive people, mostly. So in a way, I've been thinking about this topic a lot, because even me, I thought of anti-natalism. I never heard it before, but then I found out like there are people actually advocating for this. You can search it up. But why are atheists not anti-natalists? You see, they consciously bring children into the world, a world that is meaningless and purposeless, to make the child come and suffer. And by the way, Schopenhauer already talked about this. Schopenhauer, his own solution was that everyone should just kill themselves. But he said, okay, this is too difficult. We shouldn't kill ourselves. What we should do instead is that, we should stop giving birth. But Schopenhauer said it's impossible. Schopenhauer said we will not be able to do that, because all of us will not agree to not give birth. That's for one. But another thing is that he talked about some kind of force that is driving people to give birth. So when you give birth, it's a trap. He called it like a trap. But the point is that I want atheists to come and talk about this issue. What is your justification for bringing a child into this world where the option is non-existence? You see, it's not pain. The other option you have is no pain, no existence. When you bring a child into the world, the child will suffer pain. Enjoyment or some kind of pleasure that you think is going to derive from it. It's possible that it suffers more. And all of it goes away when the child starts thinking about dying or death. So you are bringing someone who has no possibility of pain into a world where there's possibility of pain, or certain pain for him when he dies. Why would you do that under your paradigm? Ridiculous. Anyway, let me see what you guys think about this topic. See you guys later. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.